McMahon the other way has the answer.
Here's McMahon trying to get downhill. McMahon aggressive to the basket. Count it.
No foul call. McMahon pushing it once again in transition. The left hand finish.
In that third quarter, they out-rebounded them 13-5.
The fadeaway from McMahon. So now 4 in the last 6 games as she has just been on a tear this season. And what a move to the hoop.
Yeah, they need to settle. Ole Miss.
And another great move from Cotie McMahon.
And that will lose the ball. Ole Miss gets it. Here comes McMahon with a full head of steam. The spin inside and scores and one.
Gained a lot of experience last year, making their way through the WBIT, winning the championship. Oh my God! Just
the hands of Ole Miss stop that. McMahon to the left. McMahon in traffic.
That's what we've seen a lot from Norfolk State here this second half.
Count the basket and a chance. Lee has the assignment on McMahon. McMahon firing and hitting.
The second matchup all time between these two. The last time they met back in 2024, the second round.
I don't know, is she any good?
Yeah. SEC's leading scorer, but in conference play, Cotie McMahon is.
There you see Iwala over on Coach Yo's bench. McMahon launches another and splashes home.
With their starting quarterbacks with an S out. Here's Alabama A&M throwing the ball away. Coming up with the steal is McMahon, and McMahon will take it.
Can't take anyone lightly. Nice pass.
Good find inside, better ripped away by Cotie McMahon, who leads the break. McMahon pulls up at the free throw line.
Ole Miss defense, you have to do something different. You're going to have to be aggressive, drive, but kick it in and out. Things like that, this Ole Miss defense is stifling, as you see there.
Cotie McMahon puts it in and one.
And a finger roll by Warren, no good. Knocked away, picked up by McMahon. Rebels with numbers. McMahon will take it herself.
Another 3-ball.
Coach James is yelling at Jones, why are you leaving her wide open? You don't leave Cotie McMahon wide open.
Get the opportunity.
Bodies fall to the floor, looking for somewhere to go. Stolen away by Cotie McMahon. Out on the break, and McMahon with the finish.
Her so dangerous. It takes off in an instant, and she puts the defense all out of rhythm.
McMahon on the take and one.
Just missed by Gabby Mundy. She had 11 points in that win last time out. Here's McMahon. And McMahon.
Game as a date with South Carolina in the SEC Championship game tomorrow, 3 Eastern on ESPN. McMahon banks it in. Close.
The IQ and the confidence, too. As a freshman, you are essentially leading a top 5 team.
Out to McMahon. She's calling for it. Crossing over, left side. McMahon inside now. Gets the bucket.
McMahon always wanting to make something happen.
Oh, yeah.
in her stead. And here is Cotie McMahon, the transfer to the SEC. And Ole Miss right out of the timeout. Debbie tries to pound some paint. Cotie will clean it up from deep. Down with an injury. McMahon drives Sunday. Oh, now Lattimore's down. Lattimore injured at the other end of the floor as McMahon hits a good drive and dish off glass. for the loose ball. McMahon will push to the right side for the layup. McMahon working that screen. Nice step through, up and in, and the football team. And there's Lattimore. McMahon spins into the lane, and that'll break the seal.
And a chance to be able to beat the Longhorns for the first time this year. It's a team that's won 34 in a row in this building. Incredible home court advantage. There's McMahon. Here's McMahon. Right side of the paint. Strong finish at the rim. 59-48. McMahon's going to push. Pass Booker. And the rim attack, the layup's good. Well, that's what she can. Kyles came away with it on the errant pass. McMahon attacking again. Euro. And the finish. And you see what's happening so far in our final quarter. McMahon again in the open court. With the bounce. McMahon takes her time, finds a way. McMahon's been the story in the comeback. Defended by Lee. And McMahon weaving through traffic, lays it in.
Now 9 turnovers for Georgia. It's just an inexcusable mistake.
Yeah, that's at this point in the game, too, especially that hurts.
And one for... That's your second best scorer on the bench in foul trouble and your leading rebounder. I don't know how Cotie... Calling for the Lattimore screen. Puts it up and in.
McMahon will try the three. Rattles it in.
Because Cotie has been running players in and out of this game, and especially on the perimeter for Norfolk.
Freshman year at Texas. Played 10 minutes a game.
Time read the floor. The freshman's not playing like a freshman. Indeed. Back comes Ole Miss to drive inside, and the bucket is. That was a good shot by Davenport. Bringing the ball up court right now is McMahon. Peterson's got to swing it back over to McMahon. Here's a three-pointer. So the Ole Miss Rebels bringing the ball up from left to right on your television screen. And here's a three. Not at all. And the Rebels get another easy bucket. And then there's a steal right there by McMahon.
Here's Awala. Gives to McMahon. Got it. Gives to Lattimore. And DeShields wide open. That's easy for McMahon. We were talking to Jeremy Bonin before the broadcast. And he said, a lot of these girls haven't been able to travel much. The team as well as Anthony Jones. In fact, it was those teams that Funchess was on. Hurston is off the mark. Ole Miss with already 2 quick points to begin the final 10 minutes as Cotie McMahon drops it in. But it is important to face some smaller schools in order to work on what you need to work on.
Yeah, you can guarantee that they're going to go back and pick apart this.
Ole Miss in their home whites, Longwood in their road navies. It's Cotie McMahon, the Ohio State transfer.
Early on.
Back-to-back offensive rebounds for Ole Miss. McMahon fades away off a win at Memphis in overtime. They trailed by as much as 13 points in the third quarter. Cotie McMahon spins to the basket. Rebels have led by as much as 17. McMahon in the lane, falls. Shot clock down to 2 for Brown. Gotta hurry. Launches. And it's off the mark. Rebound pulled down by McMahon. Her 5th already tonight. Could she have back-to-back-to-back double-doubles after tonight? Drains another mid-range. Conferences that Ole Miss doesn't want any kind of history with because of what they can do in women's basketball. Shot off the mark for J.C. Bolden. It was contested as Cotie McMahon in transition goes to work. Puts it up and in.
Is really to hone in on your individual skills. Once this time of year rolls around, it's more about team building. It's more about what you're doing as a team with defense. A lot of agility work. And off season is where you get better as an individual player.
McMahon puts it as Peterson zips it to McMahon. Bulldozes a Lancer and scores. 27 points for Cotie McMahon tonight, a season high, and 5 away from her career high, and puts it in.
Have come in the paint. McMahon from the free throw line pulls up and just gets it to McMahon waiting for that screen from Awala and gets it to drop. In McMahon, who's been working hard tonight. Fall off front foot, the fadeaway.
The SEC challenge. She wants to do her part for the ACC conference.
Missing 2 free throws, but right there is Chinu to get the rebound. McMahon not stopping with the attack to the hoop.
They're handing players off really well as they go from one area to the next.
This is something they had to focus on. Kansas State leads. Inside, gets the bucket.
K-State knows they can't put up 80 or 90 points against Ole Miss. This game, scoring-wise, is right where it needs to be.
Here's McMahon up top. Drives in, left side, stops, puts up a shot, and it's good.
McMahon, there she is.
McMahon on the elbow, driving low, loses it at first, gets it in.
What a year she is having, leading the Rebels in scoring. She's going to try to go one-on-one. What a move. Looking to bounce back here today from that 1-point loss. Tough shot. A little leaner in the lane by Gabby Monday. There's McMahon wide open, 16-footer, and ring it up. He knows, and he talked about it earlier, what the defensive-minded Ole Miss team is, and there is Rebels can go for that last shot. McMahon down the lane, off the glass. Great headspace, and she brings her energy every day in practice. That's McMahon on that right elbow. Rebels got the rebound, did not hit the rim, so the shot clock continues to run. McMahon in the lane. She will take it down, missed the shot, got her own rebound, and
I did hear coach and shoot around call someone the Grinch today when they stole a ball. I was like, I don't like that. Rebels trying to slow it down a little bit. Speaking of McMahon, there she is handling the ball now. Driving in the paint, puts it up off the glass for the portal queen. She does a great job finding talent. And the thing she said, too, is finding those that played already at similar places like Absolutely. Plus with a team you've already played. McMahon, deep ball, that's good. Awala, nice one off the board there. Gives it to McMahon. She's going to float it up. That one clanks in for AAC's second team all-conference. Played in all 32 games, starting every game except one. Jefferson from Clarendon, Arkansas, played at Arkansas Baptist.
Last year at Arkansas. McMahon long two. From us in Oxford. Cotie McMahon steps in for the two.
That is just such a compliment and hard to accomplish when it's the life of the transfer portal and you have a lot of new faces.
McMahon, that's her game.
The screen by Iwala. McMahon. Oh, that was a friendly roll.
And she's such an excellent passer up top. And then with their size has terrific vision.
Crunching screen set that time by into the hands of McMahon. Pull up and pop. Beers running right out.
Right here going downhill, and that's a pretty good person to get it to.
Here's McMahon calmly stroking. Splits a double team and scores.
Rare easy bucket in the half court for Oklahoma.
McMahon has the answer.
Well, Miss, we know he's talking to Coach Joe. She always said hit first to McMahon.
Three on the way. Good.
Kind of went under the radar.
Yeah. 6-0 run now by Mississippi State, and McMahon ends up.
Mississippi State had definitely upped their pressure defensively.
McMahon, so sweet.
Francis tried to make a pass, but there was nobody to pass to. And, of course, who do you want to...
McMahon out on the break, trying to beat Francis. And one, the foul is on. McMahon with the ball. Now banks it. Walla with a rebound. McMahon off and running. And McMahon.
Go underneath the screen, she's going to rise up and fire. Very difficult to defend someone who can create scoring opportunities.
McMahon will need some backcourt help. Well, take a look at Mo Finley's keys to the game.
Well, Ole Miss, they play really aggressive defensively. Of course, we mentioned Vanderbilt.
Just under 3 minutes. Ole Miss has McMahon driving, shooting, and scoring. Say one of my broadcast terms, right on cue.
Right on cue.
I thought I did. A miss by Vandy. And look at the guard skills. Now going downhill, McMahon. Spins, turn around, jump shot.
And here Cotie McMahon has to try to find a way to get downhill, get to her spots.
She'll take a jump shot off the... We've got the final 36 7/10 of a second remaining. Turned out to be an outstanding ball game. McMahon downhill finishes. Petticourt to 3 from a wing, won't fall. Rebounded by McMahon. Man, very capable of going coast to coast.
Right, and for Auburn, it gives them a chance to switch their defense and try to get Ole Miss out of sync a little bit offensively.
Look at McMahon getting
almost anywhere she wants. And this is what you can't afford. You can't afford quick shots that lead to transition opportunities for Ole Miss.
McMahon uses glass for the Rebs. McMahon muscles her way in, muscles up. Really one of the true leaders, not only of this team, but really in college basketball. You just got to see her during a practice as Caitlin Peterson will be at the point here to open up quarter 3. They quickly go inside a little bit in the first half. Eric Angui. There's some parts there, Mel, but
McMahon spinning, ducking inside with the left hand. Beautiful.
And she said, I really can't. It's a juggernaut right now with everyone night in and night out. Ranked team.
With 7 points.
And great defense as well as some huge rebounds.
Count it.
And this is where Cotie McMahon makes it so hard to defend her. She gets the rebound herself and then just pushing pace.
How big of a challenge is it for Diana Collins tonight?
So Alabama back to the matchup.
Ace Austin this time trying to slow. Timmons can't get it to drop. Chinu. McMahon is back the other way for 2. Hands it off to Poe. McMahon again turning on Austin for 2.
Shot clock almost expired. Good rebound by Poe. McMahon will put up the 3, and they'll take that. Into Iwala. McMahon buries the 3. Trying to shake Lattimore, just cannot. Good D. McMahon with a rebound.
Look at McMahon. It's like standing in front of a Chevy truck.
Of Kentucky's last 12, and then Morgan gets in on the action. They're just not missing shots this quarter, and McMahon.
So how does your team respond? And she showed, especially, I was impressed with Talia Cooper in that game, how she stepped up and responded too. But Tennessee finally able to score quickly. It comes from getting defensive stops and keeping Ole Miss to 1 and done.
Around, that's Z Spearman. So important response back the other way off 1 foot as McMahon deflected by Poe. That's the second block that she's had tonight. McMahon looking, going all the way, sizing up Brawl. After those 2 made free throws from Latham, they've got to find ways to stop Cotie. And Ole Miss lucky to save it. As again, all gas for Cotie McMahon. The step through and the scoop in it. Stolen away by Debrisha Poe. McMahon feeling it in rhythm. Cuts the deficit now to 20. Tennessee wanting to come up with a stop here, but no one has the basketball. They want to keep the ball out of the paint from Ole Miss. She pulls up. He's double teamed. The screen from Dor Young.
Had gone out and had great first halves. And we heard Kelly Ray Finley, nutrition.
Has made a huge difference in her sophomore campaign, and McMahon asking for it, looking down and drills. McMahon gets it with 17 seconds on the shot clock. Sizing up. Somehow steps through.
Look, and when you're trying to adjust to playing without a starter in this tough SEC conference, that's tough. I told you.
This great start for this Ole Miss team and getting back to their rhythm. In rhythm.
That's my money, Petticourt.
McMahon from the free throw line. Campus didn't reopen until February 9th. But this team found a way to come together and push negative outcomes into positive ones as they prepare for the NCAA tournament.
It has to defend on an island.
This Ole Miss team, 22-10 overall on the season, and even 500 in conference play. And talk about the freight train. You better get out of the way. Very quickly, Vanderbilt can work their way back into the ball game if they keep getting hot from downtown. But the answer,
winning and put the focus on playing in a way that of something that you can be proud of.
And McMahon in the corner. McMahon for three. With less than 5 minutes to go, over to Cotie McMahon. McMahon drives to lane, big bucket.
Bounces out, Booker will pull. Can't hit. Rebound McMahon, a strong-handed board. Here comes McMahon. Her jumper is good. McMahon carries it again. Ole Miss has missed its last 7 shots. McMahon met by Judd. McMahon scoops it up and in. McMahon lost it, got it back, flips it in.
From February 15th to the 22nd. Not only that, but they lost 2 crucial players in that stretch.
Shots from outside haven't been falling for McMahon.
And a good defense by Betancourt.
Leads to the fast break. Cheney short. To Shields, another chance. McMahon, this time. One of the Ole Miss players, and I think it might be Murray. She's staying down. Meanwhile, play continues at the other end. McMahon jumps up, good, just flashes up. And even more here today. Tip is up, and Ole Miss will bring it up.
And this is Cotie McMahon right there with the ball, the first in her hands, number 32 in blue. Keep your eye on this young lady.
McKinney gave it up, and then she McKinney behind the tee, and McMahon. 5. Now to 2, McMahon recognizing. Oh, yeah. Cheney with 11, 2 for 3 behind the arc. McMahon wanted the and one.